When was the last time you have worn a tampon? Are you aware of some of the dangers associated with the improper use of tampons? In this video, I'll be telling you about TSS, and that stands for Toxic Shock Syndrome. You'll be hearing one lady's encounter with the disease itself. We'll be hearing about certain symptoms to look out for, and you'll be hearing the cause of it as well. So here we go. Toxic shock syndrome is bacterial infections which release toxins into the bloodstream. The toxic in the bloodstream then spreads to the body organs. TSS, as it is often called, can cause severe damage and illness. So it can damage body parts, organs such as your liver, your kidneys. It can also bring on a heart attack. So it is very, very important. Now, what is toxic shock syndrome and what does it have to do with the use of tampons? TSS, which is short for toxic shock syndrome, is often associated with tampon use, but it can affect anyone. So it's important to know that even though a part of it is associated with tampon use, it is not only that, and because it is not only caused by improper use of tampons, men can also have TSS, so it can affect anyone. Knowing the signs to look out for can prompt treatment, and prompt treatment can result in the best outcome. TSS can affect anyone at any age. It's important to know that toxic shock syndrome affects 1 in every 100,000 people. At this point, people, because like myself, I'm sure that a lot of ladies actually wear tampons. And perhaps a lot of people did not know that improper use of tampons can result in this disease. Unfortunately, the young lady who you will be hearing from shortly has lost both of her legs to the disease. Therefore, it's going to be very important that you listen to, what causes it and what to do if it ever happens. So this is one young lady's encounter with the disease itself.
Just on my period, it was super heavy, and I ran out of my tampons, so I went and bought a new box, and I just remember feeling super sick, like almost as if like the flu. It was October, so flu season. All of my friends were getting sick, and I had to go to my friend's birthday that night, and it's just me and my blind Cocker Spaniel at the time living in Santa Monica, so it was just her and I. I changed my tampon, obviously, and I'm just laying there, probably, 30, 40 minutes. I start feeling even worse. I'm like, wow, I'm really feeling sick. I'm texting my friends, a couple hours go by, change my tampon again. So this is the second time I've changed it. It's about now, 5, 6 p.m. and I have to get ready to go to my friend's birthday. So I get in the shower, get myself together, put another tampon in, and as soon as I drive and I walk into the venue, all of my friends are in there, and they're just like, dude, you look so sick. And I felt it, I finally in that moment felt this whole wave of heat, and also just something's just not right. And I'm like, yeah, I think I should probably just go home. So I drive myself back home. My mom and I are super close, so we chat every 5 minutes. We're always in communication. And I was like, yeah, I'm just feeling kind of unwell, but I think I'm okay. And then I get to my apartment, and I'm just really, really hot. So I just take off all of my clothes, and I just lay on the floor by my bed with my dog.
So there is something that is known as a welfare check. So a welfare check is where people can actually ring up for support to come around to your house if they think that you need some kind of support. On this occasion, this young lady's mother was concerned, and in America, the welfare check can be done by the police. So what you're going to hear is where the police actually visited this young lady's house after the mother became a bit concerned because she knew that she wasn't feeling well. She had just spoken to her daughter and she knows that something was not right. So what you're going to hear from when the police officers visit this young lady by her house. So here we go.
Okay, I just need to sleep this off. I'll call you in the morning. And that was the last we spoke. Obviously, that didn't sit well with her, so she feels the need to get another welfare check. She gets her husband to drive her. She was just had surgery, so she was bedridden, and she was living in Riverside at the time, which is like, it could take up to like an hour or two to even get to me. So she called all of her friends, all of my friends, called the police again to come to my apartment to like see how I'm doing or get me help or something. So once she did that, the cops came again. It took them like 30 to 45 minutes to get inside of my apartment, and they found me face down on my bedroom floor, defecated. Basically, myself and everything around me, I was dying. I was 10 minutes from death. They rushed me to St. John's, and they were like, why is this healthy, young, 24-year-old girl plummeting? They didn't get it, and thank God there was an infectious disease doctor that was on call, and he said, well, does she have a tampon in? And once they located the tampon and they sent it to the lab, it came back as TSS 1, and that's when they were able to finally kind of get me stable and give me the things that my body was more susceptible to accepting at that time because it was really grim. And I had 2 heart attacks. My kidneys, my organs were failing. They put me on life support. I had 107 fever. They basically gave me a 1% chance of even surviving.
Now, luckily for this young lady, she survived, right? And that was with quick thinking, and because someone who was on duty at the hospital, one of the doctors, specialized in in detecting these type of things. All right, so how does this bacteria, how does it become associated with tampon use? So you know that I have done some research as usual. So what I'm going to do is to bring you some of the things that I have found out. Now, what first thing I'm going to look at is the symptoms associated with this. So symptoms and causes is what I'll be looking at. So when you use tampon, this is what the information says. There is a type of bacteria known as, and I'm going to put it on the video, so don't worry if I don't say it properly. But it says Staphylococcus bacteria may become trapped in your vagina and enter your uterus. So this is a type of bacteria. It's trapped in the tampon, and of course, because you insert the tampons, then the bacteria transfers to your uterus via your. So okay, let me repeat that. So the bacteria may become trapped in your vagina and enter your uterus via your cervix. The bacteria may grow on tampons, especially if they aren't changed often enough, and that's very important. Bacteria may also grow if your menstrual flow is light and you use a super absorbent tampon. Tampons can also cause tiny cuts in the vagina, and bacteria can enter your bloodstream that way. So in some cases, it's just that the bacteria becomes trapped on the tampons. Here's another thing. leaving a tampon in for too long is not the only way to get toxic shock syndrome. Medical experts now know that anything that stays in your vagina for longer than the recommended time can increase your risk for toxic shock syndrome. This includes contraception such as the cervical caps, sponges or diaphragm, or menstrual cups. So what are they saying? They are not saying that the use of all these things that they have listed are the causes of it. What they're saying is that if you leave them in for too long, meaning if you go against the recommended time for it to stay within the vagina, then of course it increases your risk of developing the toxic shock syndrome. Now, is it immediate? How can you know? How long does it take before you start seeing symptoms? Remember, it is said that you can suddenly, your condition can suddenly deteriorate. But in some cases, it says depending on the bacteria causing illness, it can take from 1 to 10 days after being infected to start show signs and symptoms. The symptoms usually start suddenly, so that is very important to know. 1 to 2 weeks later, the following more severe symptoms can happen. Symptoms such as skin peeling on the hands and the feet. That is if it is not caught early, or if the deterioration is not very, very rapid. All right, so what are the symptoms to look out for? The symptoms will include a high fever, a rapid drop in your blood pressure, with headaches, lightheadedness or fainting, diarrhea, headache, sunburn like rash on any part of the body, including the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet, muscle aches. So if you're wearing, for example, if you're wearing tampons and you suddenly start feeling ill and you notice these symptoms, then definitely it is worth you finding a doctor as soon as possible, because the sooner help gets to you, then the better your chance of actually, recovering totally. Because if you look at it, unfortunately for this young lady, she said that she actually had a heart attack, the kidney failure and everything like that. But luckily they were able to save her life, but they were not able to save the 2 legs. So she ended up losing the 2 legs. So are they saying, is this research saying that you should stop wearing tampons? No. What they are saying is that you have to be careful. You have to remember to change them regularly as well. Some people are into the habit of changing their tampon every 2 hours. What they are now saying, so yes, some people change every 2 hours. What they are saying is that you should never ever go beyond 8 hours. Although, to be honest with you, I don't know who would wear a tampon for 8 hours, because to me that sounds like a very long time. In short, the long and short of it is, be careful of what you put into your vagina, because remember, they say that the various contraception, if they are used incorrectly, in that you are leaving them in for longer than the recommended period of time, then of course it increases your risk of developing the toxic shock syndrome. So this was something I wanted to share with you, my family. Remember, when I know, you know. When you know, I know as well. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have not yet subscribed, do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for the people who have returned as well. I say big up, big up, big up yourself, people. And to those who are seeing my video for the first time, one of my videos, I say just watch some of the older videos. I have playlists going on, so you can actually see the playlist that you would most be interested in. Thank you for watching another of my video, my family, and you know what I'm saying. Peace.